The historic village of Shirakawa, our destination this time. We parked in Sasaragi Park and headed to the stairs. Everyone still looked so sleepy. Need more coffee? That's the open-air museum. We planned to visit when we came back, but things didn't go as planned. You'll know why later. This is the suspension bridge that we had to cross to get to the village. The river under the bridge is rocky, and the water is so clear. As we arrived, we were greeted by the stone lantern and this house. Upon entering the village, we stumbled across a lot of shops and cafes around. There are plenty of gift shops in the area, and you can also ride on rickshaws here. The traditional houses are unique to this region. The style of their building construction is very peculiar, as they were constructed without any single nails. This architectural style is known as Gassho-zukuri. The aspects that make them especially iconic and eye-catching are the thick thatched roof and the large windows in the attics. Water ditches are strewn all over the village. The water is so clear, simply a nice farm village. This is the village complex. Nowadays, there are also other building structures that are more modern than the others. We leisurely walked through the village and stopped when we needed, immersing ourselves in the traditional and peaceful vibes of the farm village. There are small lanes as well, where we could take some shortcuts to the other side of the village. This is the manhole lid of Shirakawa-go. So cute! It was time to have a break, so we stopped at this pudding shop. They offer 7 flavors of pudding, which are matcha pudding, smooth caramel pudding, gohei mochi pudding, honey pudding, shine muscat pudding, coffee pudding, and water pudding that won Japan Pudding Award in 2022. I especially like the glass container, as it works as a souvenir as well. It has the shop's name and the icon of Shirakawa-go. So this is their mizu pudding. It has 3 layers. These 2 layers are custard pudding and caramel jelly. The bottom one looks like mizu shingen mochi or raindrop cake. It's so smooth, subtle in taste, and so low in calories. I must say this pudding is the best here. Showcasing the other puddings, this is green grape pudding, roast mochi pudding with sweet miso sauce, custard caramel pudding. Their coffee pudding has 3 layers too. Lastly, honey pudding. It comes with honey in a small container. We continued our exploration afterwards and stopped by the water ditch to check the large fish in the clear water. They look like rainbow trouts and seem to be very comfortable living in the clear water. With the clean water, we definitely don't need any fish tanks here. As a farming village, rice is definitely their main crop. We went through the path and came across these 3 Gassho-zukuri houses. One of them has been turned to a cafe. The cafe is designed with a lot of shrubs, some small ornaments, and potted flowers. This flower that they used to decorate the place really caught my eye. It got long wait lists, so we just lingered around there. We visited one of the house museums there. It is a 5-story Gassho-zukuri house. Pretty big! The admission fee is 400 yen per adult. The first floor consists of some display of tableware and dinnerware sets made of wood and ceramics that they used in the village a long time ago. Some displayed fixtures. There are also an old screen partition, some artworks collected since the ancient time, some wooden statues, relics, and a Buddhist altar that was made 500 years ago. On the second floor is an employee room. On the third floor, they exhibit the village's old farming tools that seem to be well used. This is one of their plowing tool and agricultural equipment. There are also some mochi making tools and other kitchen utensils. This is the view from one of the third floor windows. Ascending to the 4th floor, we found a silkworm fabric workshop. There are tools for spinning the thread and weaving the fabric. These are the trays used for drying up the silkworms. The 5th floor is off limit, so we returned downstairs to the entrance. It was past noon, time for lunch. Next to the entrance, they have a soft serve and ice drink window. They call this rich deluxe soft serve the most delicious soft serve in Shirakawa-go, or so they said. Then it is finally time for our meal. This is a pork belly dish that is cooked on the spot. There are many variants of this dish in this area. Next is a beef rice bowl. It is boneless short ribs. Comes in a generous serving. The glaze makes it sparkle. Here are the other dishes that we have. Bon appetit! This is the view of the village from a lookout. We actually planned to stay here a bit longer, but it suddenly rained when we arrived. It's such a shame. I would like to revisit this village one day, probably in winter. There are still so many things to see. We then took a shuttle bus to return straight to the main street. On my way to pick the car, I bumped into this stall. And get, they're grilled onigiri with miso garlic sauce. Looks great, but the taste is just okay. Our next destination was Gokayama. We went through this tunnel to reach one of the 3 villages, which is Suganuma village. We were greeted by this view once we arrived. This village is less renowned than Shirakawa-go, so it is quieter and more peaceful. It is also a farming village that has the same traditional and country vibe as Shirakawa-go. Look at the thatched roof and the building construction. Aren't they similar? This village is the smallest out of the 3 villages. Let's have a look at this village. It got a lot of farm fields with 9 gassho zukuri houses. There are tourists, but it is less crowded. Many of the houses have been repurposed to be restaurants, cafes, and museums. Rice crops are all over the places. There are the young seedlings and the matured one, ready to be harvested. It started to rain, so we stopped by the tea room to have a break and take shelter from the rain. They display their menu outside. This is a traditional tea room in Japan. The interior is clean and organized. We sat next to the big window. Felt like sitting next to a painting. We spotted a small shrine next to the tea room with a small torii and shimenawa. Here came our afternoon snacks. The menu here is very simple, but the drinks and desserts come with some sides. For example, the coffee comes with 3 cookies. We noticed that the cups they use are all unique. The dango offered here is made of buckwheat flour. It is not as soft and chewy as the one made of rice, but it still goes well with the kinako powder. On the way back to the tunnel, we found this hairy and flat snail, small wasp nest, and massive moths. They are as big as my hand. This is one of the many shrubs that grows in the area. On the opposite side of the tunnel, there is another village that we unfortunately couldn't visit. I think I need to plan another visit. Hi everyone, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to motivate me. If the videos inspire you, please leave some comments to let me know what you think about them. And please share them too. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.